First Dane County Farmers Market Cookbook was released today. It features more than 125 recipes from shoppers to vendors, chefs, volunteers, and staff. Wisconsin-based author Terese Allen says the purpose of the book is to encourage people to take full advantage of what the farmers market has to offer. The book features internationally focused recipes using all of the many products and produce that can be found at the market. Allen signed copies of the cookbook as shoppers made their ways through the vendors at the market.
Everybody loves good, fresh food, right? So it feels celebratory. That's what the book was supposed to be about, was celebrating that feeling of the local community together.
You can buy the cookbook at the Dane County Farmers Market every Saturday for the rest of the season. It'll also be in bookstores and can be bought directly from the publisher, Little Creek Press in Mineral Point.